Now, for quite a while, I've been on this personal hunt for information regarding a particular virtual pet from the 90s. Bobby. This was actually the second ever virtual pet I ever held or saw, my first one being a yellow Tamagotchi Generation 1 with orange numbers, and I got my hands on a Bobby shortly after. It was a blue egg with a yellow bordering around the screen and yellow buttons. I bought it from a place called Eli's Toys in Woodford in 1997. It was an amazing toy shop back when I was a kid, but it's not there anymore. My original plan was to go back to speak to the independent owner of the store and ask them about the stock they had back in 97. This was a long shot, but I figured it was probably the best place to start, as they did sell this to me to begin with, 22 years prior. Sadly, Eli's Toys shut down many years ago and the owner actually has passed away. This was a problem because it meant I had nowhere and no one to go to look for leads in tracking another one of these Bobbies down. Before you ask, no. eBay did not prove useful in this hunt. You can search Bobby virtual pets on there all year and nothing will turn up. Even Google was useless in this case. Even searching now, the only things you find are the things that I posted up in my hunt for more of them. Japan You Want didn't have any, and neither did Wish.com or even Buyee, so it was pretty obscure. With my main plan shot to pieces by the shop and the man I bought Bobby from being gone, I posted on the Tamagotchi forums asking for help in locating Bobby with me. I figured the best place online to help out with this was this forum because they are the go-to place when it comes to all things virtual pets. However, after having an active topic for quite a while on there was still no new leads. Nobody had even seen Bobby before, and after sharing video and screenshots of what it was and how it worked, it proved unfamiliar to the members there. As you can probably imagine, this was pretty frustrating, as I wanted to purchase more of these Bobby vintage cyber pets for my collection. Ideally, I wanted some sealed ones to hang on my Tamagotchi collector's wall. I did also have a small white virtual pet that had Bobby written above the buttons, and although it doesn't work anymore, if I remember correctly, this was also a Bobby. A little later, someone posted in the forum a link to an ancient cyberpet website that seemed to have actually listed Bobby on its page, including a small picture of what it looked like. Thank you, Eggyweg. It was identical to my one from 97, except it had the words Bobby above the screen, same logo as the writing on my white one, whereas my original one was plain blue with yellow buttons and bordering. But this was it. This was Bobby. According to the website, it was made by a Chinese manufacturer called Foodtech. This was it. I had a company name. It seemed they also made the cyber pet called Smart Chick, which was another virtual pet I'd bought back in 97, so I even had a little bonus information thanks to that. So, I googled up Foodtech and found nothing. There was no sign of cyber pets by Foodtech online, least of all Bobby. So after all that build up in excitement and hope that I was actually onto something, the trail went completely ice cold. Fuck. I updated my thread over the next few weeks and months, but only showing people more of the pet's evolution stages in a long shot hope that someone somewhere will recognise at least something from it, but nobody did. Then I stopped posting on the thread and it went cold for over 6 months. I stopped posting on here for a while after that. I was obviously defeated and so I let it go, sort of. But in the back of my head I was still mystified by the Bobby situation, and I was still wishing that I could buy a new sealed one somewhere, or even a new second hand one would have been welcome. But I was not putting much focus on this anymore, as my hopes were now pretty low. Until, on April 26, 2019, literally just over a week ago, I went back to the Tamagotchi forums for the first time in months. And my Bobby thread had an update. And I honestly can't thank you enough to the poster Erison for posting this update. Because according to his post, he recognised Bobby outright and even gave it an alternative name it went by. And this was the name I was able to find it under. Akachan 1. After he posted a link to a brand new one posted up on eBay for sale, I took a look and recognised on the packaging a screenshot of the minigame from Bobby. Now this is the strange thing. As someone who has collected virtual pets since 97, Akachan was not unfamiliar to me. I had 4 Akachan 2s from back then, which I immediately remembered. But that isn't the strange part. The strangest part is I actually already owned an Akachan 1 from 1997 anyway. I checked my collection to be sure, and there it was. A green shell Akachan 1 that I know I used to use all the time back in 1997. So this could only mean one thing. Back when I was a kid, I knew Akachan 1 was the same as Bobby. I just forgot. So in a sense, my hunt was for a lost memory more than a lost gotchi. To be sure though, I grabbed a couple of cell batteries and put them in the Akachan 1, just to be sure. Though it wasn't working properly at first, I saw Bobby's egg appear on the screen, so I knew for a fact that Harrison from Tamagotchi was actually correct in what he was saying. I eventually got Akachan 1 to work properly and brought it to life. Sure enough, this was Bobby. I'd finally found it under a different name, and Harrison had also posted a link to where I could buy one brand new. The search was over. Obviously I purchased a new Akachan, and it's on order now, so I'm waiting for it to arrive. There's also another one I found on Japan You Want, which I ordered also. So what actually is Bobby like anyway? Well, I'm sure you've already seen some of my other videos, but here's a more detailed set of functions of Bobby, Akachan, whatever, in action. I'd just like to say a thank you to everyone from Tamagotchi who helped in my search for Bobby, or even showed interest in my thread on the Tamagotchi forums. These people are Penguin Keeper, Matt Croft, Hokey, Eggy Weg, and thank you for the link to the virtual pet farm, and of course Harrison, who overall solved the mystery of Bobby for the most part, and even resulted in me being able to purchase new ones. Also, why the fuck is Bub from Bubble Bobble in the bottom corner as his alert icon? That makes no fucking sense. I love Bubble Bobble as much as the next person, but why the fuck is...